Maybe it was luck. After all, he was born on the 7th day of the 7th month of the year. But if you were around that day, or the 4 months in the NICU that followed, you knew the odds were against him. His dad, a former professional athlete, knew something about statistics, but he also knew that sometimes they lie, and that miracles can happen. His birth certificate says Isaiah McCracken was born on July 7th, 2009, but his story? Well, that goes back to August 2002. His dad, one Quinton McCracken, had developed a reputation for providing late-game heroics for the Diamondbacks. On one particular night, he faced the National League's best closer at the time, John Smoltz.
Line into left center field. Jones on the run. He's not going to get it. He's not going to get it. And it's a tie game. And there again is Quinton McCracken, the Miracle Man. The Miracle Man.
Few could have seen this coming. A two-sport star at Duke University, Quinton was a 25th-round selection in 1992, and yet went on to play for 6 teams over 12 seasons and 999 games played.
To me, longevity for you, me looking at it, was you understanding your role as your career continued. Is that accurate, do you think?
That's very accurate. Very accurate. I got to thank my parents for that, understanding, where I fit in the grand scheme of things. I had, excellent coaches along the way to help shed light on where I fit in as far as where my talents and skill set kind of best fit in the game of baseball.
There were times, though, you were the guy. I mean, when you look at your bats, everybody wants at bats, they want a chance, and you were that guy.
I mean, it was a dream come true. I mean, as I said, as a kid growing up in Carolina, I just recall watching the World Series and then going in the backyard with the stick and the tennis ball, me and my cousins and neighbors, and emulating the guys that we just saw on TV, and to actually have those dreams, come to light. I mean, it was just unbelievable.
Wow, what a grab!
There was little fanfare when McCracken signed with the reigning world champions in January 2002, but that summer, whenever the Diamondbacks needed a late-game hit, it seemed like night after night, that guy was McCracken.
And McCracken to left center field. He's done it again. He's done it again. How about McCracken?
Quinton's last game in the major leagues was in 2006, though he wasn't ready to call it a career, spending 2007 in the Independent League.
The Bridgeport Bluefish of the Atlantic League. You were one of the oldest guys on the team. You played 102 games.
Yeah.
For a 37-year-old man.
Hey, I've always prided myself in staying in shape, and as I said, I knew I had some gas left in the tank, and I just enjoyed playing. I went out there and had a great time, met some interesting people, and kind of got it all out of my system.
We did a trip in Puerto Rico, and we were sitting there at lunch, and he just said, "I'm done. My heart's not in it anymore. I want to go home." And in that moment, I knew he truly was done.
Your career's over. You're starting your family. Was that planned that way?
Yeah. I mean, I think later during my career, we talked about it. I was always one, and I think Maggie was, kind of agree with me here, where, I see guys who are, leave and it just ripped their heart out, leaving their kids or leaving their spouse, leaving the child, and I was like, okay, well, I want to start my family probably a little later, where I have that, option of staying home and being there during those early formative years.
It is, I think, every parent's biggest first fear, issues at birth. When did you know there would be an issue?
We were out of town, and we flew back on a Saturday, and that Sunday I knew something was wrong, and so I called my OB, and her partner was in, and we went to the hospital, and sure enough, something was wrong, and all the specialists came in and told us that, we were 22.5 weeks along, and that we were in for the fight of our lives.
What else did you know then?
That Isaiah had less than a 10% chance of surviving.
How did you handle that?
As an athlete, there are a lot of things that, and as a man, there are a lot of things that you want to control, and this was something that was beyond, my control and her control, and having that dropped on us, that our baby wasn't viable, and if he were to be delivered, anytime soon here, chances are he was not going to make it. It just
Because by this
it
time,
cuts off at the knees.
sorry, he already had a name and a personality.
It's your son.
He was our son.
Oh, Isaiah. I was actually at his delivery as well, and I remember being told that we were going to get a 23-weeker, and every time we get that call, and it's a 23-ish weeker, you just never know how it's going to go. And doing this long enough, you kind of even think to yourself, oh no, why a 23-weeker? Why do they want to even try to save this baby? Because statistics will show that 23-weekers just don't do very well.
You were knocking on the door of losing your son and your wife.
It's tough. I mean, it's very. I mean, it is a blow. I mean, it brings you back home, brings you to your core.
I think this is going to enlighten some people. When you first saw Isaiah, how big was he?
Isaiah was 1.7 pounds and just over 12 inches long. As a matter of fact, I took a picture of him holding Quinton's thumb, and Quinton's not a very big guy, and Isaiah's entire hand covered his thumbnail.
When you walked into batter's boxes against some of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball, I mean, you've been able to deal with adversity. You're looking down at your son, who's that small. What was that moment like?
I'm thinking to myself, come on, little guy. Hey, just fight. If I would trade, my life for him any day of the week. And to look down there, at the best of you and the best of Maggie right there, so innocent, who's fighting for his life. It just shook me to my core.
I want to ask you about the drive to the hospital. At least once a day, I am sure. For how many days?
4.5 months. Luckily, Quinton came up with the plan that I'd do the morning shift in a sense, and he would go at night, and that basically kept us sane.
Very few and far between. Not too many people can relate to that world. It is totally different. It's like your world stands still while on the outside of this unit, life goes on. And so our life came to a complete standstill, halt.
As a mother, the first thing you want to do is hold your child. That part's always difficult because you want to hold them, and I didn't get to do that for 2 months. You want to be the one that reassures your child everything will be okay, and in ways, Isaiah always reassured us that he'd be okay.
You touched on it, Quinton, but I don't think anyone in the outside world, if you will, can relate to what's going on in the bond from family to family. You walk in, you look on the grease board, you check out your child, you check out all the other children, don't you?
You do, and Isaiah was the youngest born at that hospital to survive. And, these nurses and doctors saved our son's life.
They're family, aren't they?
They are. They will totally forever be indebted to the doctors and nurses at Scottsdale Shea. Their NICU unit, they are extended family. That's our home away from home.
Just before Thanksgiving, 4 months and 12 days after he was born, Isaiah finally got to go home.
Well, that's the best day. A lot of people think we get so attached that we're sad when they go home, but that's the way we know we did our job.
So Maggie, tell us about Isaiah's Angels.
We're firm believers in paying it forward and turning anything negative into a positive. I decided to start our own charity called Miracles Do Happen to benefit the March of Dimes. And in that, we started Isaiah's Angels, which is our team that marched for March of Dimes. We held a charity event and raised money and set our goal at $500, and we've raised over $10,000. Isaiah's Angels.
When he's old enough to understand, what are you going to tell him about this time in his life?
I think we're both just going to share with him the love and support that he received from family, friends, people who we don't even know that prayed for him to help him get to where he is today, and just the strength and the courage that he showed us as parents, the fight, the grit. It just makes you realize there's no obstacles that can't be overcome.
The statistics would have told us that yes, he might live, but he had a high chance of having a lot of problems, and as far as we know, he doesn't. He's a great baby, he's developing normally, so he's a miracle baby, and his parents have helped him every step of the way.